Hello and welcome to the Chris Wolf Podcast on EyeCode Media. Today is the final bonus episode prior to our Labor Day break next week. We'll be taking both the full-length episode and the bonus episode off next week, but we'll follow that up on September 14th with a full-length conversation with Dr. Adam Ramsey on our 100th episode. You will hear us discuss race and being black in America and how that relates to the eye care industry. I've already had many of our trusted colleagues preview that episode, and I think that based on the feedback, it's quite clear that interpretations of our conversation will obviously be weighted heavily by the individual perspective of the listener. But I would encourage you, rather than give in to your natural worldview, please consider the point of view that least matches your own. And as I reflect on the conversation I had with Adam, I really tried to look at things from his perspective, and I could see that he was attempting to do the same. Adam and I have different approaches to how we view the world, so I think it will be one of the most important conversations that I have on the podcast, and one I thoroughly enjoyed. I think you will too. How's that for a teaser? So stay tuned. Now on to today's bonus episode. We're going to talk about relative value units, or RVUs. Most of us are in independent practice, so most of what we think about is a dollar value that each procedure pays us. When you're an employed physician, especially in a hospital, RVUs are really impactful. So have you ever wondered why the fitting of a contact lens for the treatment of ocular surface disease reimburses differently than the fitting of a contact lens for the treatment of keratoconus? I can tell you that based on Medicare national averages, the lens for ocular surface disease typically pays about $40, while for keratoconus, it pays about $130. So to arrive at total RVUs, there are three components that are added together. These components are work RVUs, which essentially is how much time and skill does a procedure or service take. Malpractice RVUs, how much liability is inherent in the procedure or service. And then facility RVUs. This is how much overhead, things like facility costs and materials that are required to perform a service or a procedure. So in the examples we provide, a contact lens for the treatment of ocular surface disease and a contact lens for the treatment of keratoconus carry a very similar malpractice RVU. Essentially, they're within 1/100th of each other. The differences come in the form of facility RVUs and work RVUs. And to give you another example of a similar procedure that we would be utilizing would be the placement of an amniotic membrane without sutures, which reimburses around $1,400 Medicare national average. It carries nearly the same malpractice RVU as the other two contact lens codes, and actually a very similar work RVU. In fact, that work RVU is smack dab between the contact lens for the treatment of ocular surface disease and the contact lens for the treatment of keratoconus. It's right in the middle. The work RVUs for an amniotic membrane is right in the middle of those two. But the facility RVUs is astronomically higher in the amniotic membrane, which is representative for how much more expensive the amniotic membrane actually is. So I think understanding these nuances can be helpful in understanding where value is placed for a procedure. And one of the areas that EyeCode is growing in leaps and bounds is our chart auditing service. And one of the things that sets us apart from other auditing services is that we not only alert you to potential undercoding and overcoding errors, but we measure you against a normative distribution curve based on expected RVUs and show you strategies to improve your revenue by working smarter. Our clients are coding more safely and in a manner that reflects their level of services more appropriately. And so if you found this episode valuable and you'd like to take steps to protect against an audit and be more profitable, we'd love to work with you. Visit EyeCodeEducation.com, that's EYECODE education.com, or follow the links in today's show notes. Additionally, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast, write a review, and share it with your friends. At EyeCode Media, we believe in advancing the optometric profession by diving deep into eye care topics and providing actionable steps for our listeners and subscribers. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.